Hello students. Today we are discussing about chapter 15 drainage system, and in part 1 and part 2 we discuss about Himalayan rivers, and half of in the part 2 Brahmaputra river. Now moving ahead, in this part we will study little bit part of Brahmaputra river system and peninsular river. Let us begin. There is less of sedimentation in this river in Tibet in India, the river that passes through region of heavy rainfall. So further down it is more water mass as well as sediment, and many tributaries they meet this river in Assam, and thus Brahmaputra flows in a barrier form. See, every year there is a huge increase in its water and its overflow during rainy season, and with that result, devastating flood often occurs in Assam and Bangladesh. And there is a constant this river compared to other rivers in North India. Due to heavy rain in Assam during monsoon, there is a huge deposition, and the increased level of sand in this river raises its bed higher. So there are frequent changes in the course of river. See, let us discuss again about from first the Brahmaputra river. See, Brahmaputra river, it is the only river having a masculine name, and Brahmaputra, which is about 2,900 kilometers long than the Sindhu, but most of her flow is outside India, and Brahmaputra originates in Tibet near the origin of Sindhu and Satluj river, and it is called as Tangpo in Tibet. And in Tibet, Brahmaputra that flow parallel to the Himalayas in the eastern direction, and then it takes a U-turn at the mountain peak that is called Namcha Barwa, and they enter India through Arunachal Pradesh, and over there it is known as Dihang. And this river with Dihang, Lohit and Kenula tributaries, they collective, this is known as Brahmaputra in Assam. And see, Brahmaputra is also known as Jamuna in Bangladesh. Majuli is an island in Brahmaputra, is the largest riverine island in the world. See, in Tibet, the part of Brahmaputra, they contain less sediments. And in India, the Brahmaputra flow through the area receiving heavy rainfall, and hence the river that carries much alluvium with her. And there are many tributaries that meet this river in Assam, and they make the flow at woven form. And during monsoon, the total volume of water in Brahmaputra and her tributaries they rises, and what they form, and they form the flood, causes flood over there in Assam and Bangladesh. And the sand level which is there of the river that increases at several places, and so the surface of river they gets higher, and as a result there is a frequent change in the course of river. And see why the Brahmaputra get flooded heavily during a monsoon, because see Brahmaputra that is originated in Himalayas, and hence they contain much water, and when this river they flow towards the Arunachal Pradesh and Assam in India, where many rivers they merge her, and the river moreover the river they flow the area that experience heavy rainfall, and hence the volume of water in Brahmaputra rises greatly, and so it get flooded heavily during monsoon. The next we'll study is peninsular river. See, Western Ghats that is considered to be the major water divide for peninsular river. Uh, Major rivers of peninsular are Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, and all these rivers they flow eastwards and they meet Bay of Bengal. And many rivers that flow to the west of Western Ghats as a large river like Narmada and Tapi, they flow from east to west and meet Arabian in the west. See, Western Ghat now that is considered to be the main water river divide for peninsular river, and the major river like Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, they flow eastward and meet the Bay of Bengal. And see the other small river, the smaller rivers are there, they also flow eastward and they meet Bay of Bengal. They include the order Brahmani and Vaitarani and Shubar Rekha, all these. And the major rivers like Narmada, Tapi, Sabarmati, Mahisagar, etc. They flow from the east to west and they meet Arabian Sea in the west. Now we'll discuss about Narmada Basin. See, Narmada that is originated near Amarkantaka Plateau in Madhya Pradesh, and it flows westward in the Rift Valley, and it flows through a rocky terrain of marbles near Jabalpur, and they flow faster due to why due to the slope, and down other falls are there. They are located here. Tributaries of these rivers do not have longer flow. They don't have any longer flow, and most of the river they meet at a right angle, and its basin area is spread over Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat. See, Narmada is about 1312 kilometer long. It is how much long? 1312 kilometers long. See, let me explain you once again the Narmada Basin. See, Narmada Basin that is about 1312 kilometers long, and Narmada that is originated in Amarkantak Plateau in Madhya Pradesh, and it flows westward in the Rift Valley, and that flow in a rocky terrain and has a marble near Jabalpur. And see how it flows quite fast due to the slopy terrain, and beautiful Dharnodar Fall that is located on the river Narmada in Jabalpur. And tributaries of Narmada river they do not have longer flow, and most of them they meet in the at right angle, and Narmada basin is spread over Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat. The next is Tapi Basin. See, Tapi Basin that is almost 724 kilometers long, and Tapi River that is originating from Satpura ranges in Betul district in Madhya Pradesh, and it flows in the Rift Valley, and they are parallel to Narmada, and they meet Arabian Sea over there, and basin of Tapin that lies in Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra and Gujarat. And the coastal plain between Arabian Sea and the western Ghats they are very narrow, so the river have shorter flow, and the major flowing westwards and shorter course. See, the major river they are flowing where westward are Sabarmati and Mahi. The next is Godavari Basin. See, Godavari Basin, no, that is the largest of the peninsular river. It is the largest of peninsular river, and it is about 1465 kilometers long. Then it starts from the slope of Western Ghat near Nasik. See, it starts from the slope of Western Ghats near Nasik in Maharashtra, and it flows toward east and meet Bay of Bengal, and about 50% of its basin that lies in Maharashtra, and the rest lies in Madhya Pradesh and Andhra Pradesh. See, many tributaries they meet Godavari, and among them are Purna, Vardha, and Pranhita, Manjra, Vainganga, and Penganga are the major rivers over there. And since Godavari is the largest river of South India and has very long, large basin, and so it is known as Ganga of South. Next is Mahanadi. See, Mahanadi that is originating in the mountainous area of Chhattisgarh, and it is about how much long? 860 kilometers long, and it flows through Odisha and they meet Bay of Bengal, and its basin is spread in Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand and Odisha. Krishna Basin, that Krishna is originated. It starts from near Mahabaleshwar in Maharashtra, and it is how much about 1400 kilometer long it is, and Tungabhadra, Koyna, Gatprabha, Musi and Bhima are her major tributaries. See, they all are her major tributaries, and its basin that spread in Maharashtra, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. The next is Kaveri Basin. It has originated from the Brahmagiri ranges in Western Ghats, and it is how much, about 760 kilometers long. And Amravati, Bhavani, Hemvati, and Kalini are her major tributaries. See, all these are her major tributaries of Kaveri basin, and it's spread in this basin. It's spread in Kerala, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu, and it meets the Bay of Bengal to the south of Kudlar in Tamil Nadu. And see, it extends in Kerala, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu, and they meet in Bay of Bengal to the south of Kuda Lor in Tamil Nadu. And see, there are other smaller rivers that flows eastward, and they meet Bay of Bengal also. And these rivers include Damodar, Brahmani, and Vaitrani, and Suravar Narnekha. See, like to know what is the things to be like to be known is a hydrosphere that exists over about 71% on the Earth's surface, and about 71% of it is saline water. See, we know the saline water, that is salt and water both mixed, and only 3%, see, water is available as fresh water, and one fourth of its portion is in the form of ice. Now, moving ahead, we'll see is the lakes. See, there are many lakes in India. Freshwater lakes are found where in the Himalayan regions, and most of these lakes, they contain water during when the rainy season. See, the water that is collected from the Himalayas, and the water that from the snows that is melting from Himalayas, and some of these lakes, they are water during rainy season. See, Himalayan ranges are full form of glaciers are there, and very few lakes are formed due to wind, river, and human actions. And in the river, they are having meanders, oxbow lakes, they are formed over there, and sea tides that are created. The lagoons, they are known as lagoons that are created, sea tides. And the Chilka, Koleru, and Pulikat are the example of these types of lake. And Sambar Lake, that is in Rajasthan, is a saline lake, and it's a salt, and salt is produced from it because it's a saline lake, so salt is produced from that. And the Himalayans has many freshwater lakes they have, and they are formed due to the glacial actions, and because of that, the water that was filled in the depression, which lead to the formations of lakes. And the beautiful lakes are formed here by melting of snow. Varlan Lake in Kashmir has a tectonic origin, which has Varlan Lake has tectonic origin, and the other freshwater lakes of this area are Dal, Bimtal, Loktal, and Badapani. I hope you all have understood part 3. Thank you.